Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is the 79th episode of the American Reveille Podcast. We're going to be talking all about Ron Paul grilling Rachel Levine, Dr. Rachel Levine, I guess you would say. I got no qualms with the fact that Dr. Rachel is a transgender. Don't care. What I care about is the fact that it seems like she's okay with 3-year-olds basically changing their sex. And what's even more screwed up about it, folks, is that the mainstream media is covering for it. They're covering for child abuse. That's why I want to bring you this article here today, folks. I'm going to read with you and discuss and dissect this ABC News article called First Transgender Nominee Deflects Inflammatory Questions from GOP Senator. Rachel Levine was grilled by Republican Rand Paul about transgender surgery, but what they're not saying is that surgery applies to our babies, ladies and gentlemen, our babies. So this is a very important episode. We're going to go through this, and then I'm going to show you exactly what Dr. Rachel Levine stood for and stands for during COVID-19 and right now. Stay tuned, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is the 79th episode of the American Reveille Podcast. Thank you for joining me. I know it's been a few days. I've been a little scarce, not scarce at all from social media. If you follow me on Parler at James Lane or on Gab, American_Reveille, everywhere else, American_Reveille, you'd see we've been releasing articles. I've been talking with everybody. We've been putting stuff out. Just the videos take a lot of time to do, all right? And I've been working very hard trying to put the finishing touches on the website, trying to get things put together for the street teams. I got a lot of cool stuff on the way. I've got something ironic coming from Mother Russia. I'll show you guys that eventually. That's pretty funny. But really, it's just been busy as hell. Busy. So I didn't go anywhere. I'm not doing anything crazy. Don't think we stopped producing and making content for you. Not at all, ladies and gentlemen. Not at all. In fact, quite the opposite. We're building. That's the truth. We're not big yet. We're a little tiny operation, and when you're a little tiny operation, some things take longer than other things. You know, speaking of things that are longer and shorter, depending on what happens, they talked to Dr. Rachel Levine today. All right. That's the transgender pick for the HHS secretary. All right. Doesn't matter. It really does. Like, honestly, I get it. It's a very big point, especially to a lot of devout Christians, Catholics out there, things like, I get it. I just don't care. I'm more libertarian in that sense. What I don't like is when they or anybody else at all, okay, white, black, purple, gay, straight, whatever, your rights end where my rights begin, right? I don't want your life and lifestyle infringing upon mine. You should be able to do whatever it is. Hey, do whatever you want. But I should be able to as well, right? I should be able to enjoy life as well. Instead, what's happening with a lot of these people is they're saying, not only do we want the cake, but we're going to force feed it to you. Your thinking is wrong, and you need to change how you think and put it in line with how we think. That's what they're saying. And that's not acceptable in the United States of America. So we're talking about people that just don't care about your existence, your thoughts, your dreams. They want a different society, and they'll stop at nothing to get it, even if that means drugging and abusing babies and children. All right. And that's what hormone therapy to babies and children is. Plain and simple. All right. There are plenty of studies out there that prove it. We don't have to get into it. We'll probably read some of it in these articles. But honestly, if you think that giving hormones to a 3-year-old is okay, you should kill yourself. I'm sorry. Like, I know that's probably wrong to say somewhere in the world, and probably someone will yell at me for it and say, that's nothing to joke about. Maybe if we joked about some of this stuff more, it wouldn't be so scary to talk about. And then maybe so many people wouldn't do it. Sometimes the old ways had a good reason to why they worked, ladies and gentlemen. So Dr. Rachel Levine is there, and Rand Paul is asking legitimate questions. And of course, those questions don't get answered. And then what does everybody do? They pander. They panic, they pander, and then they pucker. I should freaking copyright or trademark or whatever, those three right there. Pander and pucker. What was it? I just forgot. Pander, whatever. Listen, it's really what they do. All right. They don't want to get caught in the crosshairs of the woke mob nuclear firestorm, the cancellation firestorm. So they kiss ass. And you'll see that. You'll see that when we read through this. But it's going to piss you off. I'm going to let you know that right now. It's going to piss you off because it's not accurate. It doesn't sound right. It makes one group on a pedestal. It puts the other group on a mud puddle. It's garbage. It's garbage journalism. It's a lie. And that's why you have to hear it, so that you can educate other people with the truth. And when you see what Rachel Levine is all about, folks, you'll know exactly what's up. How else would somebody like this even be voted on if Joe Biden wasn't a sham, wasn't a fraud in that sense? Listen, I'm not talking about transgenderism. Rachel Levine, as a human being, is a piece of shit because Rachel Levine believes it's okay to hormonally alter and castrate babies. That's why. That is the pick for the HHS secretary. All right. So I know you don't want to listen to me blab on and on and on. Some of these episodes are just yabba dabba dabba doo. So instead, I'm just going to start reading right away. All right, guys? Refreshing for a change, right? Listen, first transgender nominee deflects inflammatory questions from GOP senator. Rachel Levine was grilled by Republican Rand Paul about transgender surgery. No, Rachel Levine was not grilled about transgender surgery in general. Rachel Levine was grilled about transgender surgery on babies. I'm going to say babies like 9,000 times until the point gets across. And they add GOP senator because that's a keyword to trigger the left. GOP, bad. That must mean Donald Trump. This is by someone named Cheyenne Haslett, someone with no journalism skill set whatsoever. Someone with no conscience or heart whatsoever. Someone who obviously thinks that it's okay to do this to babies. Remember that. Cheyenne Haslett probably thinks that it's okay to hormonally change and alter and chemically or physically castrate babies. At a historic hearing Thursday, Rachel Levine, President Joe Biden's nominee for Assistant Secretary of Health at the Department of Health and Human Services and the first openly transgender person nominated for federal office, told lawmakers she would fight to improve health care access for all Americans if confirmed, and deflected inflammatory questions from a GOP senator who likened transgender surgery to genital mutilation. Well, it is genital mutilation for the population of young people that kill themselves when they realize that they weren't actually transgender. Nobody is denying that there are people out there that are transgender. They're born that way. Hey, it happens. I get it. All right. It's a different time. We've learned things scientifically. We understand there are people out there that are born certain ways. There's also a lot of people out there that think they're born that way because they're confused during puberty. And then later they can't reverse what they did and they eat a bullet. They shoot themselves in the face, ladies and gentlemen, because they can't live with themselves. You can't turn back that clock. You can't turn that train around, ladies and gentlemen. It's not possible. So again, nothing against actual transgender folks. All right. But There are a certain percentage. Look, there's a certain percentage of everything. There's a certain percentage of people that think they get cancer or get misdiagnosed. There are a certain percentage of people that think they have PTSD. There are a certain percentage of people that think they're gay or think they're straight or they think they love their wife. They realize that they married the wrong person. People get confused. They make decisions when they're young. All right. Sometimes those decisions lead to things they didn't really mean to do. There's nothing wrong with saying that. There are other people that do this and they live their whole life happy. All right. But it should be a decision left to an adult, not a child. All right. So yes, transgender surgery on a child is genital mutilation and child abuse. It should be something that people are not only sentenced for, but executed for. Abusing babies, we're okay with that now. You can do better than that, USA. You can do better than that. It's ridiculous. All right. It's historic because who cares if they're transgender? I wouldn't give a crap if they had a horn. Just do your job and do it damn good. Don't castrate babies. You could have a horn. You could have a tail. You could have 2 dicks. I don't care. Do a good job. But this piece of crap, this Jabba the Hutt, she's saying, oh, no, you'll see. I'll read it to you. You'll see. It's disgusting. And then people defend the piggy. They defend the piggy. Watch, they're going to kick this episode off, not because of what I said before, but because Piggy is bullying or something. They'll say that. Watch. I was a fat kid. People called me Piggy all the time. All right? People call me sausage titties. I don't know why. It was just dumb stuff kids used to say to other freaking kids. All right? I was a fat kid. It happens. So if I want to call her a piggy, I'll call her a piggy. Go to hell. As the HHS Assistant Secretary of Health, Levine would oversee the nation's public health system amid the pandemic. A pediatrician, oh great. She recently led Pennsylvania's pandemic response as the state health secretary and was the state's physician general before that. She faced questions before the Senate Health Committee for about 2.5 hours alongside Surgeon General nominee Vivek Murthy. That is Dr. Oken from Independence Day. Dr. Levine, sorry. Wrong, long gray-haired, creepy-looking individual. Just over an hour in, Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky began questioning Levine about genital mutilation of children. Look how they put quotes around genital mutilation. These people are sick. Sick, twisted fucks. Sorry, I guess I'm going to now have to put the parental advisory on this. I've cursed too many times. I've been counting it in my head. It's like more than once or twice I got to do it. So now this episode's for 18 and up, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I guess we'll have more fun then, I guess. Just over an hour in. They talk about Rand Paul bringing up the genital mutilation of children, which he compared to a person's decision to transition. Here's the whole thing. A child can't make that decision. A parent shouldn't be allowed to make that for a child because it's irreversible. All right? If I said to my parent as like a 11-year-old, I want a dolphin fin on my back. I want to swim like the dolphins. So I want them to break my knees and cut them off. And I want them to implant them into my back so I have a permanent fin. That'll be cool. And I'll be more aerodynamic in the ocean. Right, Dad? No. Sorry, Junior. Sit the fuck down. Sit down and eat your Wheaties. That ain't happening. Well, apparently this one, it would be okay. That's what this is. It's the same damn thing. There are so many studies out there. So many medical studies, legitimate medical studies that tell you how bad this is. I don't even have to give you numbers. It's bad. Baby. All right. Little baby. 5-year-old even, toddler, 3, 4, 12-year-old. You know what, Ma? Cut my dick off. What? No. Not for children. Not for children, you stupid fucks. That has nothing to do with transgenderism, by the way. All right. Again, I'm going to say it 100 times during this episode. I don't care if it annoys you. I'm sorry if it doesn't make you feel happy about how I had to say it, but it is what it is. It's the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the truth. Nobody, I don't care whether you're a transgender, whether you're a Roman Catholic, whether you're a freaking space astronaut from Mars coming here, trying to terraform Earth to be red. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a ferret that learned to talk. You don't transition babies or children. That's an adult decision. That's a permanent decision. All right? Nobody that young has a developed enough brain to figure that one out. Most 18-year-olds don't even know what to figure. Most 25-year-olds don't know shit for shit. All right? I thought I knew everything. Ooh, man. 25-year-olds that are so super pissed at me right now for saying that, give it 10 years. Just you wait. You might hate me for a few years, but then you're going to donate to my campaign as maybe intent. Nah, never mind. Never mind. American culture is now normalizing the idea, this is Rand Paul, that minors, all right, can be given hormones about their biological development and their secondary sexual characteristics, Paul said. He repeatedly asked Levine if she believed minors should be able to make decisions to amputate their breasts or amputate their genitalia, which happens. It happens. And if she supports the government intervening to override the parent's consent to give a child puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, or amputation of surgery of breasts and genitalia. That's a very important question to ask. Right? Levine responded politely. Oh, she's polite. Polite. As she would like to work with his office to talk about the complexities of transgender medicine. There's no difference in transgender medicine because you're a freaking human. You got a liver, right? Cool. You got a heart, right? Yeah. You just call a part a different part. All right. And then the legitimate transgender folks, they have some wiring that makes them the way they are. And that's their life. And hey, man, God bless. Okay. But the other ones, there are studies that show the truth, ladies and gentlemen. All right. There are studies that show the truth about everything. There are statistics that reveal the scary truth that the left will never read. And the statistics are scary because all of the statistics prove the left wrong every single time. Every time, ladies and gentlemen. I don't give a crap that she wants to work with his office. I don't give a crap that she's deflecting or this and that. She shouldn't be deflecting any of that. Genital mutilation is defined by the World Health Organization as torturous and inhuman treatment, most commonly done in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, often aimed at controlling women's sexuality, enforcing premarital virginity, and attempting to keep a woman modest. Listen to this. This is ABC News, and this dumb-ass fake journalist writing this, all right, saying to you, no, genital mutilation isn't what happens because genital mutilation only happens. This is a racist statement. You want true racism, right? You want to see what real racism is? Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. That's where it's most commonly done. ABC News right now is using those countries. They're using those countries to deflect dumb, low information freaking voters and listeners and readers and watchers to take a look in that direction and go, oh, that's not the United States. That happens over there. They picture instantly in their head. They picture tribes and rituals and fires because it's racist. They're using racism to blind people from the truth, folks. That's exactly what's happening. Sorry, I have to do my Rachel Levine now to read the Rachel Levine quotes, all right? So this is me quoting Rachel Levine. Thank you for your interest in this question, Levine said. Transgender medicine is a very complex and nuanced field with robust research and standards of care that have been developed. And if I'm fortunate enough to be confirmed, God help us all, as the Assistant Secretary of Health, I look forward to working with you in your office to come in and oh God, why am I saying that word so many times, to your office and discussing the particulars of standards of care for the transgender medicine. That was Rachel Levine's response. Paul said that she evaded the question and asked again, weaving in an anecdote about the 23-year-old Kiara Bell in the UK who recently took legal action against the country's public health system, the NHS, for not challenging her decision to transition when she began treatment as a 16-year-old. Bell argued she was not competent to make that choice as a teenager and now regrets it. All right. Will you make a more firm decision on whether or not minors should be involved in these decisions? Paul asked Levine. Levine again told Paul that there was not a blanket answer to his question, but that she would be happy to meet with him to explain all the different circumstances, decisions, and research that goes into transgender health care. Senator, transgender medicine's a very complex and nuanced field, and if confirmed to the position of Assistant Secretary of Health, I'd certainly be pleased to come to your office, talk to you and your staff about the standards of care, and basically repeat the same thing I'm saying right now, but in your office. If you'd like, I could do it right in your office and just read the same thing again and again and again until you can't stand how I look and smell in there and you kick me the hell out. And then I'll get confirmed and la-de-do. Babies get lopped. Let it go into the record that the witness refused to answer the question, Paul said. Later in the hearing, the committee chair, Democratic Senator Patty Murray of Washington, thanked Levine for her medical response to what she called Paul's harmful misrepresentations and denounced the senator for being disrespectful. You virtue signaling bitch. It's really critical to me that our nominees be treated with respect and that our questions focus on their qualifications and the work ahead of us, rather than the ideological and harmful misrepresentations like those we heard from Senator Paul earlier, and I'll focus on that as chair of this committee. Thank you so much to you. Thank you, Levine. Thank you for telling us how much better than us you are, Murray said to Levine. She didn't say all of that, but she said, that's the gist, okay, guys? Listen. It's just insane to me. It's insane to me. What do you mean? Treated with respect? And that you're such little babies. Everybody's so soft. You can't talk about true things that happen to babies here in the United States? You can't? It's too hurtful. Your skin's too thick. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but Rachel Levine's skin looks very, very rhinoceros-y thick. All right? Very, very thick. Listen. This is garbage, all right? Qualifications, yeah. Not knowing, okay, let me start over. Knowing whether or not babies' genitalia will be lopped off or plugged up, all right? I hate to be so disgusting and vulgar, but knowing whether or not this disgusting demon witch, all right? Hey, you want to be a woman? You say you're a woman? You feel like a woman? I'll call you a woman. You're a witch. This witch, ladies and gentlemen, she can't say definitively yes or no whether she supports your son coming to you at 13 years old and saying, I want to be a girl, and then going without your permission in certain states or wherever the hell they do it, getting his dick cut off and getting put on estrogen and then killing himself in 5 years because he wasn't developed enough to realize whether or not he truly believed that and felt that way about himself, or whether or not it was due to his hormone fluctuations of puberty, or whether it was due to influence. All right? Let's be real. Shit like that happens. It's not so 1 and 0. It's not so black and white. Only lefties with no actual intelligence and no debating skills, no ability to back anything up, keeps it so simple. You have to be an ignoramus to keep it so simple. And it ain't that simple, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't. I'm sorry. I got young daughters. Try to do that. Try to do that to my kids. See what happens. Democratic Senator Tina Smith of Minnesota also defended Levine. We need advocates. We need advocates at all levels to make sure that we address that keyword inequity They said it. There's that word again, equity shoved in. We address inequity and we fight against discrimination. Just, because not allowing a 3-year-old to have a sex change is discriminatory, and ensure that everybody, all patients, have access to care, especially amid this crisis, which has revealed so many inequities. Oh, she double whammy for the equity button. So I wanted to thank you. She thanks her. You've now entered the Twilight Zone. Jesus. Pardon my blaspheme. Levine answered other questions at the hearing, mostly on her role as chief doctor for Pennsylvania during the pandemic, reviews on getting kids back into schools, the opioid epidemic, and the LGBTQ plus health equity. God, man, they're going on the equity roller coaster. They're going on the equity roller coaster. How many times? Let's do a Control F real quick and see how many times the word equity is said in this article. Equity. All right. 1, 2. There's more than 2. There's more than 2. 1, 2. Because the article just said it. I just read 3. Anyway, whatever. All right. They use equity a lot. We got to get back into the Levine reading here. At its core, my career has been about helping people live healthy lives. As the Assistant Secretary of Health, I would be committed every day to helping the people of our nation and improving our public health. I'm humbled by the opportunity and ready for this job, Levine said in her opening statement. Levine detailed her tenure in pediatrics and adolescent medicine at Mount Sinai and Lenox Hill Hospital before moving to Pennsylvania, where she worked for Penn State College of Medicine and focused on helping teenagers with medical and psychological problems. For those listening, I just turned my head really slowly with a confused look on my face and stared at the camera for a few sentences. I didn't disappear anywhere. You can infer whatever you'd like from that statement. She was named Physician General of Pennsylvania in 2015, confirmed unanimously to the post, and confirmed twice more by a bipartisan Pennsylvania State Senate to be Secretary of Health. With two those folks apologizing, right? With 2 of those elected officials just kissing the ass of Levine after she couldn't answer the question about genital mutilation of babies, which happens. I wonder how she got all those positions. Ooh-wee. Of course. All right. This is Levine again. Of course. Our focus changed dramatically last year, and COVID-19 became my urgent and primary focus, Levine said. There's still so much more to do, ladies and gentlemen. Jeez, listen. Sorry. All right. Anybody with that accent, I am so sorry to compare you to a sea cow. All right, to a manatee. Look, the manatee doesn't get used a lot. I'm trying to give the manatee some credit here. All right, look, come on, manatee. We could use manatee. Come on. Nobody remembers Dr. Oken from the the lab in Area 51 in Independence Day, but everybody knows what a manatee looks like. She looks like it's the gray hair. All right, manatee. All right. Schmanity. Listen, I'm sorry. I feel bad. I got to apologize again. I had to apologize to the people with the accent, but now I got to apologize to all the manatees out there in the wild that I may have offended. So any manatees down in Florida, or even the seabird, the dugongs out there, whatever they were, if you're looking at your iPhone 12 tablet right now, and you were very upset that I compared you to such a disgusting individual, I'm sorry. I just want you to know I'm so sorry. Manatees, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you, I'm not sorry about calling Rachel Levine disgusting, because I want you to remember something, ladies and gentlemen. This is something some of you may have forgotten since we live in the world of goldfish memory and social media. All right? Rachel Levine, Pennsylvania, HHS, right? Secretary of Health, all that good stuff. Of course, Rachel Levine said, of course, in the accent I like to do of her. Our focus changed dramatically last year, and COVID-19 became her urgent and primary focus. And how? How did it become her urgent and primary focus? What was her legacy? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you remember. Pennsylvania Health Department issues preferred COVID orgy regulations. Now you get some of the jokes I made earlier. I wasn't just being perverted, all right? I'm sorry. I said I was going to rate this an adult episode, and I will. I'll put it in there, all right? But listen, this is what Rachel Levine's famous for. December 16th. In the very distant past, just 3 months ago, Pennsylvania Health Department issued preferred COVID orgy regulations. Wear a face covering, avoid kissing, and wash hands often. I guess all the other stuff is okay. All right. I'm not going to go that far on this show. I promise you, folks. All right. Don't worry. I won't. This gal, the Pennsylvania Department of Health, led by Dr. Rachel Levine. This is Jim Hoft, by the way, Gateway Pundit, December 16, 2020. Dr. Rachel Levine issued new rules for large gatherings where you might end up having sex. That's a direct quote from Rachel Levine. Large gatherings where you might end up having sex. These large gatherings where you might often end up having sex are also known as orgies. Yep, that happened. Oh my gosh, Becky. Look at these orders. Large gatherings are not safe during COVID-19, but if you attended a large gathering where you might end up having sex, below are some tips to reduce your risk of spreading or getting COVID-19 through large sex gatherings. Hand issued by Dr. Rachel Levine, the baby mutilator. Anyway, limit the number of partners. Try to identify a consistent sex partner. Do the best you can to not screw a bunch of random people, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Rachel Levine, if you gotta, once in a while, screw a bunch of random people. Wear a mask. Don't kiss them on the lips. Kiss them on, anyway. Do me a favor. If this is too much for you, email me, jameslane@AmericanReveille.com. Trying to do something here. Trying to be a little more funny. I'm not even trying. I'm just being funny to them, being myself. All right. I usually tone it way down. I try to be really professional. But remember, I was in the Navy. I got a sailor mouth. I'm a lot funnier than people think I am. So if it really, really, really bothers you and I get enough of a response, we'll see how we tweak it a little bit. But like I said, jameslane@AmericanReveille.com. All right. Try to identify a consistent sex partner. That's my best advice to you, patriots. Wear a face covering. Avoid kissing and do not touch your eyes, nose, or mouth with unwashed hands. Ew. Wash your hands with soap and water often, and especially before and after sex. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Ow! For ladies that are listening to the American Reveille Podcast right now, we're watching. I can't even say this with a straight face. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for saying this. Don't get upset with me, but would you recommend, I want you to tell me in the comment section below, all right? Share this, let everybody know. Is it okay to spray anybody's private parts with alcohol-based hand sanitizer? Home Alone 2? I guess that was Home Alone 1 as well. Maybe I should call Macaulay Culkin. You know, Macaulay might have more experience with orgy regulations than I do. I definitely tell you that. This alcohol-based hand sanitizer to the crotch does not sound like a good time, folks. If you usually meet your sex partners online, consider taking a break. Stop screwing random people on Tinder, you disgusting animals. Video dates, sexting, subscription-based what? Video dates, sexting, subscription-based fan platforms. We have to check if Dr. Rachel Levine, by the way, is in the bag, if the lobby groups for big porn, and I'm not dogging you, people do whatever they want, but the companies that have subscription services out there that make all that money, I wonder if how that got slipped in there, huh? Maybe you should go pay a website a subscription fee. Or chat rooms, maybe options for you. Do they still have chat rooms? Anyway. 3, protect yourself and your partners from COVID-19 during sex. Avoid kissing. Kissing can easily pass the virus. Wear a face covering or mask during COVID-19. Wearing a face covering that covers your nose and mouth is a good way to add a layer of protection during sex with those outside your household, and it's a fantastic way to role play, I guess, with your what? I feel like if I put a mask on, I would put on like the Phantom of the Opera mask, right? And I'd walk to my wife on the couch and I'd say, honey, come with me to the bedroom. It is time to make love. And she'd look at me. She'd look at my mask. She'd look up. She'd look down, down, up, down. And then she'd tell me to go kick bricks because she has a headache. That is what should happen to all of these orgy people too. Anyway, look, I'm not trying to be funny about it. All right. Well, I am trying to be funny about it. I'm not trying to make light of it. It's disgusting stuff, and I wanted to put it out there in a fun way so you'd at least know what happened, but you weren't so hearing about it. Could you imagine hearing about it? An orgy? Dry like that? Okay, anyway. No more jokes, all right? Listen. The important point of this whole thing, the connection to be made here, what I'm trying to express to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's not about Levine being transgender. I've always said, even with the president, I couldn't care less if the president was white, was black, was even, and you know, back in the day, I would say a Republican or a Democrat. I wouldn't care. A woman, a man, a freaking someone with a third arm growing out of their face. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. Just do your job. Do your job. Sex hormones to children is not doing your job. It is abusing children in the United States of America. I don't care what your ideology or your opinion is of it. If you support that, you should go to hell. Done. And when Rachel Levine, this is the connection, says, I care about COVID. I did all the COVID stuff. All I want to do is the COVID stuff. The COVID. In Pennsylvania, Rachel Levine's famous for COVID orgies. COVID orgies, ladies and gentlemen. The word of the day. Feel free to post it in the comment section. You could just write COVID orgy. All right. Maybe you'll get a prize. You never know. Look. This is nasty stuff. I wanted to make light of this episode because it's hard to get through. It's a pain in the ass. It's nasty. It's dry. It's hard to listen to, especially when you have children, especially when you're on the right, and even more especially the further conservative you lean, this is harder and harder and harder. But you have to know the truth. You have to know the facts. You have to know what's actually going on. It doesn't matter what your opinion, my opinion is about transgenderism. We can leave that right off the table. What matters is the fact that this person is not qualified to do this job, period. And Rand Paul, God bless you for asking the hard questions. All right. That's the podcast for today, folks. All right. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. All right. I'll try to get more out. We're still pushing the website. We're still getting the street team stuff together. We're still developing more technology, all kinds of awesome stuff. So sometimes it drags me away. Sometimes it brings me forward, but we will make it happen. And eventually this thing will expand and expand and expand. I will quit my day job and I will do nothing but make videos for you and run the company and get yelled at by my wife and hopefully finish my PhD and go to okay. Anyway, Dude, have you seen Gab? Gab's actually picking up. I really like it. I'm starting to dig it. I really am. See my logo up top right there, American Reveille. Go to Gab, www.gab.com, www.gab.com. I'll have to do that like Jesse Ventura. It's easier to say the W's. www.gab.com. All right? www.gab.com. All right, find me there, American_Reveille. That's where I'm at, right there. Boom. James Lane, you see that? That's a blue check mark. So go to gab.com. Blue check mark. American_Reveille. Follow me, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me there. Parler's back too. Loving it. Go to Parler at the James Lane, right there. @ the James Lane. That's me. I put all my stuff there. That's the main hub. It's the main hub. I just wrote this article. Look at this article. All right. Break the walls down. A new incentive to succeed in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a hell of an article, and you should read it. You can go to my Parler and find it, or you can go to the website, www.americanreveille.com. We're on Odyssey as well. That's picking up. Odyssey, I think, is going to replace YouTube one day. If you're on YouTube, all right, email me. I will send you a special link to Odyssey. And if you sign up, I get 8 credit points and I'll love you forever. You see on the upper right of my screen where it says 189, the more of those points I can put in, the more people find the channel and the more patriots I can wake up. So email me, www.americanreveille.com. You can hit the contact form and get me through there, or you can just send an email directly, James Lane at American Reveille. You can see it on the screen if you're not listening, if you're watching, REVEILLE, AmericanReveille.com. James Lane at AmericanReveille.com. I'll send you back a special invite link, and then you can join Odyssey and follow my page there. That one's great. Rumble's okay. It's just taken them forever. Look, if you're watching this, I'm going to show you something right now. This is what pisses me off with Rumble. Look at my content. You see all of these? I'll scroll down. And if you look really close, this says 2 weeks, this says 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And if you look on the right, it says ready to share, monetization pending, ready to share, monetization pending. Rumble, the way their algorithm or whatever works, it has to go through their monetization process to be put in their Rumble battle or whatever, so people actually see the video. So by the time 4, 5, 6 weeks goes by and they approve my video, it's irrelevant. So until they speed that up, I'll still upload my stuff there, but it's like rolling the dice for me with Rumble. All right. If you want to follow me there, I appreciate it. I would, if that's the main place you go, but I promise you, they're not going to put my stuff in the feed. You're going to have to constantly go to my channel and click on things to see what is uploaded. All right. It's the same with YouTube. They've shadow banned me. That's why I'm not even advertising for you to follow me there. If you want to, you can. I'm on YouTube. All right. But I'm shadow banned. It doesn't matter. I don't go past 2,130 people. When I do, when I get 100 past it, they take 100 people away. All right. It is what it is. Screw them. All right, folks. And remember, please, 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 you can go to my website, AmericanReveille.com, right here, right? Check it out. Got videos. We got some new articles, Indoctrination Nation. It starts in the schools. This was written yesterday by Kinsley Kurtz. It's a great article that she put on the American Reveille website. Now, folks, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please, please, please follow me there. Give me a 5-star rating and write in a review. I need you to do that for me, all right? It massages the algorithm, and we can get our numbers up on Apple. More patriots see what we're doing. We wake more people up, folks. You're a big part of this. You're the majority shareholder, basically, in this company, because we're doing what we're doing to, well, not only make a living and provide a living for a lot of people down the road, but to also create a place for the right, a media company for the right, ladies and gentlemen. And we have so much more information about that coming in the future. And really quick, if you're watching and if you're listening, you may want to go and find my stuff. Go into the links below in the description section and take a look at the video. Take a look. This, my friends, is what the new website will look like when it's done. This is a free preview. We are almost there. It's not quite done yet. Got a little more work. As you see, we have to update it. It's only updated to January 22nd, so I got to bring it forward. But you see we got this nice little top news thing going on between media and articles. You come down and it's simple. Take a look at that. And on your cell phone, it'll be simple too. It'll show you every article, every video, everything we put out will be under the latest, and you can just scroll down and find it or search for it. And of course, on the desktop, well, I paid for this freaking podcast player. It's beautiful. Look at this thing. It'll sit here on the website, and you can find any episode to listen to for free. I'm not charging you. All right. I'm not charging you. There's no money for it. You go in here and you listen to the episode. It's free. It'll be right there, up to date every time. I paid to make sure of that. All right, folks. So give me another week or so, maybe another 2 at the max, and the new website will be out. It's awesome. It's stacked. It's racked, and you're gonna love it, folks. All right. Do me a favor in the meantime. I'll show you the new Support Us page on the website, all right? You can go to the old website, www.americanreveille.com. Click Support Us, all right? Please click Support Us. I'll show you it on the new website. It's the same on the old, all right? And if you can spare a little bit, please do so. We're surviving off your donations. We're building things right now. Eventually, we'll have a much larger, profitable organization and operation. But for now, we are grassroots this. We're doing it all the way, ladies and gentlemen, from the bottom to the top, old school style, all right? So please, if you've got crypto, we take crypto, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these 3 QR codes right here. I got the code on the bottom. You can highlight and donate, or you can hit the QR code for Dogecoin. You're going to hit the QR code for Bitcoin. You can hit the QR code for Monero, or you can hit this cash donation button, and it'll take you right to this PayPal. You give me $10, $50, $100, or you can give me $1 right in the other amount. Just give me $1. All right. None of it goes in my pocket, folks. It all gets reinvested into American Reveille LLC, the American Reveille Podcast, and our street team operation that we're going to be putting out in the next couple weeks to get past the internet censorship. All right, folks, there's going to be 1,000 very special letters, all right, going all around the country to very special people that are going to pass them out. It's just some promotional material inside, nothing special. All right. Don't get all freaked out that I'm saying there's letters going everywhere. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right. And there may be some surprises after that. So folks, I want to thank you so much for watching. All right. I want to thank you so much for being a loyal patriot and a loyal fan of the American Reveille Podcast and sticking with us. All right. Any feedback, any comments, any questions, James Lane at AmericanReveille.com. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.